What's up? It's TJ and Don Chaos.
What's up, everyone?
We're here today as representatives of the Juggalo Jedi Council for Star Wars vlogs via Carnival Spirits. I don't know. Obviously, we got some bad news today, and we decided to go live to talk about it and to just catch up with a lot of other things that we haven't really talked about. But why don't you drop that bomb, Don Chaos?
I mean, the big bomb we have to drop is, yeah, we lost a lot of actors that played in Star Wars this year, but the really big one this year is we lost Carrie Fisher, aka Princess Leia, or as she was now starting to be known in the new trilogy, General Leia.
It's some bullshit, man. I was sitting inside of a dealership getting a new car today, and I'm sitting there, and the guy's running around getting paperwork done, and I just went on my phone, logged into Facebook. Biggest mistake ever. First thing that pops up is this post from Star Wars, the official Star Wars Facebook post, and the image was there, and it had Leia with her arms up like this, the iconic bun hairdo, and so I just saw that paragraph, and I didn't even read it. I just saw that paragraph and that picture, and I was like, fuck. And my eyes immediately jumped to the bottom of the paragraph, and I was like, fuck. It's weird how I didn't want to read it. I didn't want to look up in that paragraph. I was in a couple of seconds, I was in a state of denial. I was in shock.
Well, because you just read a few days ago that she just got out of the hospital and that she
know. And I started to piece it together, and I was like, ugh. Because I saw conflicting reports, you know what I mean? I was looking at the news feed, and some people were saying her brother reported she was in stable condition, but then I saw other sites posting the contrary, saying that she's actually not in stable condition, that the reports of her being in stable condition were inaccurate, straight up. She was hurting. So, but I mean, for anyone that lives under rocks, what exactly happened? She was on an airplane and she suffered a heart attack. I read that her pulse stopped for 15 seconds or something, or was it minutes? It's something crazy. She must have lost a lot of oxygen to the brain or something.
Well, I heard she had a stroke or a heart attack, and it's because she was over in Europe actually promoting episode 8 and stuff since she's in it.
I can't lie. I thought about that. I thought about the trilogy, the sequels. I thought about her role in The Force Awakens and how, with Han Solo dying in that movie and her kind of embracing Rey, and she had the very last line of that movie. She said, "May the Force be with you." And after that, there's no more words spoken. There's it's a silent film from then on out.
But then again, that's how every Star Wars movie has ended. The last scene is just a musical note, and you can just tell by the facial expressions, the emotion by the scene without any words.
Touche. My point being, though, is that she closed the movie with that statement, and it almost inadvertently saying farewell to us in the whole shebang. This is horrible, man. This is horrible. 2016 started off with what was it? David Bowie? Was he the first?
Yep.
and then it's just been one after another. I saw this. You can't call it a meme, but I saw this picture that had a list of all this, major celebrity deaths of this year. It was like a long ass fucking paragraph of just straight up names.
Yep, and it's a lot of names that a lot of people know.
Dozens. Gary Shandling died this year.
Yeah, even the mom who played the mom on the original Brady Bunch. Shit. Right?
Florence Henderson.
Just so many. Kenny Baker, who also played R2-D2, the guy who played the original Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, R2-D2, and then Princess Leia, all in the same year.
And then you had one more, the guy who played Admiral Akbar. That
I was just going to say that. I was going to ask, did Admiral Akbar die this year as well? It was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he also reprised his role in. Actually, he made a quick scene in The Force Awakens.
All right, I'm looking at the chat. What up, guys? Yeah, Jazzer1 said it. He's got the most recent comment. A lot of celebrities died this year, and now it's like a joke where everybody's blaming 2016 for all these deaths. Like you didn't think it could get any worse. There's only a couple more days left of this year, and if you're mildly iconic or legendary in the eyes of at least one or multiple generations, you better watch out because 2016 is coming for you. I don't even think your celebrity status matters. 2016 doesn't give a fuck. 2016 is just spraying fucking shots wildly into the fucking population, into society.
That's what a lot of me and my coworkers have been saying. 2016 has just been a shitty year for everyone.
It's just Miggs says it's going to hurt watching Star Wars now.
Yes, it is.
It also got me thinking about how they digitally recreated Grand Moff Tarkin or Muffin Top fucking Toofin. You know what I'm talking about.
Grand Moff Tarkin, and the dude that actually played him was Peter Cushing.
All right. So Peter Cushing died in 1994, and they brought him back and created all these scenes. They had an actor that had the same, similar looking dude to be the stand-in, the same way that they had an actual dude stand in for Jar Jar Binks before they swapped out the performances with the digital likeness. So Grand Moff Tarkin was recreated for Rogue One. And, this is a posthumous, or however you say it, posthumous performance. I just watched this movie. What's it called? Stars Robin Wright, and she plays herself. She plays the actress Robin Wright, from A Princess Bride, from Forrest Gump, and she's still an actress, and she's older now, and she's talking to her agent, and she's got kids, and they're talking about how her career is washed up and she'll never act again. Like this is her last job because, the way the industry is moving, there's going to be no need for, older women. That's, what I mean? Like she's basically being shit canned or being pushed out of her career for being, not young anymore. So they offer her this deal to let them create her likeness and have her live eternally and have her act in future movies as her younger self through this new technology. You know what I'm saying? The same damn thing they did to Princess Leia at the end of Rogue One. They recreated her, right?
Yep.
So I'm going around the world here, but my point is that they've already digitally recreated Carrie Fisher and brought her back to life as a 19-year-old in her iconic role. Who's to say that they're not going to do that for her in her, silver years as the General Leia, and do what they did to Grand I can't talk. Grand Moff Tarkin. You know what I'm saying? They're going to Grand Moff Tarkin her performance in episode 9, and I'm not opposed to it. I'm actually basically calling it. I think that's what they're going to do.
You know what other movie they did that recently with also?
Avengers? No.
Yeah, it's close to that, but they did it with actually Captain America Civil War. They actually made Robert Downey Jr. how he used to look when he was younger.
That's what I meant. I was thinking Age of Ultron, but you're right. It was
It
Captain
still counts. It's still an Avengers movie.
Right. So young Robert Downey Jr., which was very creepy, and it really did, like, if you've seen older Robert Downey Jr. movies, the Brat Pack back in the 80s. You ever see The Pickup Artist? Did you ever see, what was it, Pretty in Pink? I forget which one of those fucking movies he was in. He was in a bunch of Less Than Zero, I think. Soul Man. I'm confusing him with different actors now, but he... Risky Business? No, wait, that was Tom Cruise. Weird Science? Was Robert Downey Jr. in that? Okay.
I don't remember some of the old movies that he was in. My parents would know.
All right, pop quiz, Don Chaos. Do you remember this movie with Harrison Ford? What was it called? When he was on the lam. He's a doctor. He's getting framed, right? You know what I'm talking about. What's this movie called?
Damn
The
it.
Fugitive.
The Fugitive. I haven't seen that in so long.
Tommy Lee Jones, right, is the guy who's chasing him.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good movie.
All right. Now, here's the second part of the pop quiz. Have you seen the sequel, and do you know what it's called?
No, I've not seen the sequel.
All right. The sequel is called something about U.S. Marshals, or it's not called The Fugitive Part 2, but it's basically The Fugitive Part 2, and it's got Robert Downey Jr. chasing Wesley Snipes.
Nice.
And here's the kicker. Robert Downey Jr. is Tommy Lee Jones' like new partner. Like they give him a rookie partner.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that movie.
I'm about to spoil the movie for you.
Oh, it's
Are you ready?
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr. ends up being the bad guy.
Wow.
All right. Enough spoiling. Actually, we're going to spoil everything. I just spoiled Rogue One for you. They bring Carrie Fisher back to life, and she wasn't even dead yet.
Yeah, so spoiler alert for those who are tuning in.
It's after Christmas now. I think you really can't spoil Star Wars Rogue One anymore for anybody. If they haven't seen it yet, then they really don't give a shit about spoilers. You know what I mean?
Right. Which means we can now get into that and say what we thought about that.
These are not the juggalos you're looking for.
Nope.
That's a comment. What up, homies? It's not that good of a movie anyways, don't worry. I wouldn't spoil a good movie. You know what I mean? Like a movie that I actually think you should go see.
Yes.
Don't worry about an old sequel to, you know, a movie that should never have had a sequel made. That's Hollywood, you know, just milking money out of you.
Yep.
Kind of like all these new Star Wars movies.
Right, that's like with a lot of the people that decided to believe the critics for Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, yet there's a lot of people that didn't read what the critics had to say and they really enjoyed those movies.
Which reminds me, I liked Rogue One the first time I saw it when it was called Suicide Squad. No, seriously, the titles just should have been swapped. Wouldn't it make more sense if Suicide Squad was called Rogue One? And wouldn't it make more sense if Rogue One was called Suicide Squad, a Star Wars story?
No, because Suicide Squad is a actual thing that's been going on in DC for quite a while.
Oh, don't be such a buzzkill. I think it's a great
but I
idea.
know what you mean. But hey, that's one thing why these new Star Wars movies are good. They're starting to show that not all these characters are immortal, and it's showing that war is a very terrible thing, even in space.
All right. How would you feel about a Back to the Future remake?
I don't know.
I don't think there are some things that you really shouldn't remake, but there's a new thing that they do where they make a sequel, but it's basically a remake. You know, everything happens the same way it did in the first movie, but there's like some character from the first movie that's now older and you know, mentors or, you know, brings in the next generation, but it's basically a remake of the original movie.
Well, as long as they don't remake the Godfather movies, those movies I don't think could ever be remade.
Yeah, I don't think they could either, but I think that wouldn't stop them from being remade, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. All your favorite movies are going to be remade. Like,
yeah.
I don't want it to happen, but it will happen. There will be a new Back to the Future sequel. It'll be a fucking remake, but they'll call it a sequel, you know?
Oh, there's going to be a remake of Gremlins.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's going to have the original character, Elliot, right? Is that his name?
I think it's Billy or something.
Whatever the fuck. I met him at Rock and Shock. I met him there twice, for crying out loud. And he told us to our faces that they're working on Gremlins 3. So, and that's what I'm talking. It's going to be a soft remake, but he's going to be in it, and it's going to be considered a sequel because, you know, because he's Billy. Yeah, Elliot is an E.T. See, I'm confusing my movies. But anyways, back to Carrie Fisher. 60 years old. That's not old at all.
Nope.
So she had a fucking heart attack. I remember when like Roseanne Barr had a heart attack years ago, and she lived and did interviews talking about it, how it scared the shit out of her.
What happened to my mother this year? She had a heart attack and stuff, and now she's doing a lot better.
That's right. I forgot about that. Well, 2016 has taken a lot of lives, some old, some young. Fucking Anton Yelchin. Been enjoying a lot of Anton Yelchin movies. There's like a whole bunch of them that came out recently that I haven't seen. And the ironic part is that half of them were already on my queue. I was already like looking forward to watching them. Didn't even know he was in the fucking movies. Same goes with for the actress, the lead character from Rogue One. The hell's her name?
Oh God, I forget her name.
All right, we're horrible, but she's in a ton of stuff that I haven't seen, and some of it is on my list. She's in the new Dan Brown Inferno, Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Nope.
Oh, okay. What are you doing? Clipping your toenails?
No, my dog's just being a spaz.
Oh, he's licking peanut butter off your nuts?
No.
Well, Carrie Fisher was also in a couple of movies, some of my favorite comedies. Have you ever seen Drop Dead Fred?
Is that other movie she was in with Harrison Ford?
No. What's the other movie she was in with Harrison Ford?
I don't know. She was like the mom and he was the dad, and I guess Adam Driver, who played Kylo Ren, was in that movie when he was a kid with them.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think you're just thinking of a meme that you saw where they were all photoshopped together. I don't think that was a real thing.
Oh, I thought that was real. I was like, that's ironic if that really happened, because they would be father, son, and mother in a Star Wars movie.
Fuck no, dude. I think somebody just photoshopped a picture of all of them together because it depicted them as a family before Kylo Ren went rogue.
Huh.
I could be wrong, but I swear to God, if there was a movie with Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Adam Driver, I would have gone and seen that shit.
Right.
Yeah, that never happened.
Oh, interesting.
Harry Potter. Lay off the modeling glue. Fat chance. Yeah, Rogue One was the shit, and I saw it twice.
And it's pretty much what the director wanted. He wanted to make a gritty war movie in the form of Star Wars to show how gritty war can be.
I'd say gritty is a good descriptive word for it. It had humor in it, though.
Oh, yeah, especially that droid. But he had dark, sick humor.
Yeah, it wasn't the same kind of like, I don't know, oh, dear my, bless your heart kind of, C-3PO-esque humor. I got to say, man, that droid, well played. Like, that's
I know,
what you...
I was almost like, gosh, this droid sounds like Walter White. It's like he's like a sociopath or something.
What's this comment here? There's a Battlefront Steam with a Leia character. Is that poor taste? What's a Battlefront Steam?
I have no idea. I know if you play the new Star Wars Battlefront, you can play as Leia.
That's got to be what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't played it. I would love to.
It's fun. Not a lot of people enjoy it. They say it gets old really quick, but I still think it's fun.
Yeah, I remember hearing a lot of complaints about it when it first came out.
Especially with a lot of the DLC they're adding now. It actually looks really fun now.
Streams. Yeah, Battlefront stream in your honor. That's why we're hanging now, man. Like I said, I was out getting a new car today, and You know, I'm sitting there in a dealership. There's people everywhere. I felt really shitty. I was like, what the fuck? I kind of I just sat in silence. I really didn't. But then I went to a restaurant, had some dinner, and it was like plastered all over the televisions, but mute. You know, they got music playing, but they got like 8 different televisions, a fucking basketball game over here, and, you know, some douchebag over here. And then on another channel, it was just like breaking news, Carrie Fisher, dead at 60, Star Wars royalty, blah, blah, blah. And a bunch of stock footage from the original trilogy. I felt like crying, but like I said, I'm sitting in the public place and I just fucking bottled it all up like I've trained myself to do.
That was like me also, and I was just sitting in my break room on my first break at work. I'm like, no way.
Oh, God. Jazzer. Imagine the heartbreak when James Earl Jones dies. You know,
don't jinx it.
Yeah, somebody knock on wood.
I already was brought to tears of joy when I saw Rogue One and I just heard him as Darth Vader again. I was like, oh God, and I was crying for tears of joy. I'm like, yes.
No, man. You know what? We're fucked because I guess being such huge fans of so much classic entertainment, you know, like living legends, they're all going to drop like flies, and it's just going to be one heartbreaking loss after another. All our favorite. It just sucks, man, because they're all getting old too. Seriously. Carrie Fisher,
I mean, a lot of people will
old.
tell us, oh, but people die every day. But the reason why it hurts a lot of us the most, because we were entertained by these people's work. Like, their acting was a work of art, and it's what they did for a living.
I saw somebody else in my timeline say it, and I'll say it. Carrie Fisher was definitely my first celebrity crush. And, you know, I'll never forget that. I used to love her. She was the shit. You know,
she came from acting royalty also. Both her parents were famous actors.
Yeah, and that's what I was reading, you know, her little, you know, media news blast synopsises talking about how, you know, she's the daughter of Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher, and he was a musician. And what was she, a model or an actress? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Well, they were famous, so she was already like this name, and her being attached to Star Wars actually added to the buzz, to say the least. I don't know, man, because it came out a year before I was born. You know what I'm saying? I was born into this as much as everybody else, except I had the privilege of being like a little kid, you know, like 4 or 5 years old, watching Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back on VHS tapes over and over again, sitting on the floor playing with the action figures.
That was with me.
You know, having Darth Vader on my on my paper plate for my birthday, and all over everything else, all the birthday napkins and table mats, and oh yeah, the bed sheets, my pillowcase. You know what I'm saying? Like, Star Wars was everywhere. You know, Star Wars kind of ruined everything for everybody in that regard, because after it was acceptable to have, you know, X-Wings and Death Stars and Millennium Falcons and Star Wars logos all over your, you know, jammy jams and your bed sheets.
Yep.
That's when it became acceptable to basically plaster everything over everything, you know? Yep. So yeah, thank you, Star Wars, for the over commercialization of everything, everywhere, to everybody, all the time. It wouldn't be the same without you. No, but seriously, in my life, I can't imagine. I wouldn't want to change a minute of it. I've been fascinated by it, and I still am. And now, coupled with all the nostalgia of, like, you know, living, growing up with it, forget about it.
Well, you gotta understand, these movies have touched like 3 generations of people.
Yep. The generations that were ahead of us, you know, imagine being grown, adult, going to see Star Wars. I've seen the interviews with people, you know, all those old nerds.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm very happy to know that both my niece and nephew really enjoy Star Wars too, because it was passed on to me and my sister from our dad.
And then there's little kids like little Donnie, my best friend's son, 6 years old. You know, he loves Star Wars, so it's cool. That's good. That's confirmation right there. You know, it's universally loved.
That's why I tell people it's a good movie, because there's a whole history behind it and stuff. Like, it's your own little world with its own little history.
Yeah, rooted in mythology, and but I still, to this day, I always have to mention this. I love the parody reviews of the prequels.
Right.
I forget what the name of the YouTube channel is. It's something like Red Button or Red Letter or something. I forget. It's not important. I'm not plugging. I'm not linking you guys to it. If you know what I'm talking about, this guy like pretends to have like chicks tied up in his basement, and he reviews Star Wars very harshly, you know, very critically, and it's like 45 minutes just to tear it apart, you know. And I'm talking about like episode 1, episode 2, episode.
Yeah, and he has that really annoying voice. He's like,
yeah, he does that. No, but he has a new one. He has new ones where he critiques the over Star Warsization of I think he calls it Star Wars Awakens. And then he reviews The Force Awakens, and he tears it apart. He actually does acknowledge the fact that it's actually pretty good, but this is where I kind of first have seen other people talk about this. Basically, The Force Awakens is kind of like a remake of Star Wars. You know what I mean? It's very similar. It echoes it.
But it does that in every movie. When you
I know. Well, that's where George Lucas is. He's a genius. You know, we all look back and realize, love it or hate it, you just can't fuck with it.
Right.
You know?
It's very creative, and it's like showing that history does repeat itself, just in a different way sometimes.
All right. So here's what I read in an article that talked about the best way to prepare for Rogue One. Like, before you go see Rogue One, you want to watch all the Star Wars movies, right? So what's the best order to watch them in? And you could argue to watch them in their original order, right? But when I say original, I mean as far as theatrical release, episode 4, 5, and 6, and then 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
But then you got The Force Awakens, and then you got the episodic order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, just which makes sense, right? And I've done that many times. I've done both ways, actually.
Well, I've always liked to do that, or I like to start out with the original movies and then watch The Force Awakens, since it's the start of the sequel trilogy to the original ones.
But there was a good point that was made that if you watch the movies in the order of the episodes, you actually lose some of the effect when it comes around to episode 4 and 5, because if you already know all the details of the lineage of Luke Skywalker and his, you know, and you already know that he is Anakin's son, that whole build up to the end of Empire Strikes Back kind of loses something. You know what I'm saying?
I did that the opposite with my niece. We like showed her the originals, but then when she wanted to know more about Vader, we showed her the prequels.
Right, because the prequels serve as a flashback. It's like when you start with the original, you really are left with questions. And I guess the cool thing is that we have the ability to say that we lived years of our lives with those questions. You know, it's almost like the way juggalos used to, you know, live in the question and the mystery before the 6 was dropped. And, you know, and it's almost like after the the next era rolls in, all the new fans and everybody who now embodies that fan base, you know, it's not the same as it used to be, because there used to be an air of mystery around being in that fandom.
And that's what makes the sequel movies even more mysterious. Now we can be shocked just like how everyone was in the original. So that's why with the sequel trilogy, when people go, that's not supposed to happen, it's like, well, how do you know? That's what makes the sequel movies good, is you get to see how these characters were now that they're older, playing older versions of themselves, and you're like, oh, I guess episode 6 wasn't a happy ending. I guess peace doesn't last forever. It did for a little bit.
Well, that would be boring, and there'd be no cause for future movies.
Well, and it gets a feel for these characters as a people, like to find out that Han and Leia, like, oh, they must have had a happy marriage afterwards. No, they were happy at one point, and then it got all fucked up and stuff.
And he went back to hustling.
He went back to being a smuggler. His wife tried being a politician, and then her political career got ruined when everyone found out she was the daughter of Darth Vader.
Man, that's the ultimate smear campaign right there.
Which if a lot of people don't know, yes, the galaxy does eventually find out that Leia was the son of Vader, but read the book Bloodline. That's pretty much what it talks about. And it takes place 6 years before The Force Awakens.
So it is canon.
Yes, it's part of the new canon or extended universe, but it's a really good read. And it pretty much sums up that her stepfather was eventually going to tell her the truth and stuff when she was old enough to understand, and he had a voice recorder and told her the truth and who her mother really was and stuff.
All right, so tell me what you think of this order. It's called the Machete Order. You start with episode 4, original Star Wars, New Hope.
Yep.
And then you watch Empire Strikes Back, okay? Yep. So that brings you from the beginning of Luke Skywalker's adventures to the moment that he finds out his place in the universe, being Darth Vader's son. Whether he believes it or not, he knows it to be true. You know, you can just tell in that outro when he's got his new fucking metal hand, you know?
Well, and then it leaves people going, wow, that's crazy. This entire time, the guy he was fighting, we thought killed his father. Nope, the person is his father.
No, exactly. And you lose that if you watch the prequels before this, right? So the Machete Order does it like this. Episodes 4 and 5, and then episodes 2 and 3. Okay, because you pick it up when Anakin is that young Jedi under the watch of Obi-Wan. You skip episode 1 because, I mean, aside from a lot of political, it's very political. There's no getting around it. And, Anakin at that young age, like how he gets into the fold with Obi-Wan, and the whole Jedi Council actually votes to allow him to be trained. It's kind of inconsequential to the rest of the fucking story, as long as you know that, yes, they discovered his powers as a Jedi, they're going to train him as a Jedi. It would be cool if they actually showed us that fucking training. That's what they should have given us, a fucking 1.5 or 1.2 where we actually see Obi-Wan train Anakin. And I know we got the Clone Wars, and I guess that animated series, that's better than nothing, actually.
Well, that series actually is canon also. So if you'd want to watch the shows, you would watch the show in Clone Wars between episodes 2 and 3.
I know, but let's not get that convoluted here. Just if you're watching the movies, okay? Try it this way. 4, 5, 2, 3, then you jump to 6. Because now that you have seen the backstory of Vader's, turn to the dark side.
And why he did it.
Right. Now when you jump to episode 6, you're back into the storyline of Han Solo has been frozen in carbonite. And the way that they open up Return of the Jedi, it's very cool because they don't really let you know what's going on, and they kind of slowly, unravel the fucking plot, right? Because they just show C-3PO and R2-D2, what up, CPN? And they roll up to this door, and the robot opens the door, and then there's aliens, and then there's
the
Jabba.
very first scene of the movie is with Vader.
Yeah. And when Princess Leia shows up, you don't even know it's her. She's incognito. She's a bounty hunter. She's got Chewie on a fucking leash. They're doing that whole Wookiee in handcuffs gag again. How many times are people going to fall for that?
It's like, how many times are you going to want to handcuff Chewie? How many do you really think he's not going to break out of those things? Because Wookiees are strong as hell.
I know, and he's like 400 years old. He'll fucking kick your ass, dude.
Han Solo wasn't kidding when he says that a Wookiee can pull your arm out of your socket. He's serious.
And we've all seen that picture of Leia and Chewie, where Chewie's got his paws over her breasts, and she's loving it. It's got to be an Empire Strikes Back era picture. You can tell by the braids and her outfit.
Yep.
I don't know. Why is CPN not here? Chaos, can you send him a link?
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Join us. I find your lack of live streaming with us disturbing. So anyway, that's the Hatchet order to watch Star Wars. Not in episode order and not in trilogy order, theatrical release order, but strategically kind of, scattering back and forth. So it's 4, 5, 2, 3, 6, 7. You watch The Force Awakens after Return of the Jedi, as it should be. And I don't know, and if you got time to kill, go ahead and pop in episode 1. It's the least good movie. There's just no qualms about it. But it's there.
That's one thing my niece, she wanted to do. She really was excited to get to episode 3. She's like, okay, why is Vader doing the things that he's doing? And then when she saw it, she's just like me. She actually respected him more. It's like, wow, all that just for the one you love. Holy shit.
But I wonder if that skews the way that she watches episodes 4, 5, and 6 and the way that she interprets Vader's performance. And, because he's real menacing in those movies. And so
she even loves him as a bad guy in the original movies.
I mean, can we talk about Darth Vader's last scene in Rogue One for a minute?
Yes, because it was fucking awesome. Don't fuck with this dude. Now you can see when you watch that and then The Force Awakens, you're like, now we know why Ben Solo is the grandson of Vader, because they're both fucking badasses.
All right. Jordan Thompson says that if you skip episode 1, you won't understand his separation from his mother and the night terrors that led to his hatred for the unneeded death. I disagree because episode 2 spells out his relationship with his mother like to length. Like he has dreams about it. It's like one of the first thing he mentions to Obi-Wan when they're riding the Star Wars elevator. He's like, I don't know, whatever. How you doing, Raya? What's up?
What up? What up? What up?
Thanks for joining us.
I see you talking about Star Wars. You know, I usually don't say what the fuck, but at this point, we're talking about Star Wars. I'm like, yo, I'm the Juggalo Sith. I need to be up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, represent for your kind.
That's right. Peace is a lie. There was only passion. Anyway, yeah, but that Carrie Fisher, bro.
Where were you when you heard?
I was actually waking up today, and I get a text from my boy, and he goes, "She died. That's fucking bullshit." And I go, "What is he talking?" And then I remembered a couple days ago, I was talking to my girl's brother, who's also a humongous Star Wars fan, who was telling me that Carrie Fisher was currently in the hospital because she had a heart attack. And so I pieced it together before I read any news and went, he's not talking about Carrie Fisher, is he? Oh, no. So then I immediately Googled Carrie Fisher, and bam, I was like, son of a bitch. Why? So, you know. So I heard that about 2 in the afternoon today.
And you're like, wait, no, not Princess now known as General Leia. No, damn it.
Well, see, that the thing is, like, I remember reading something a day or two ago that said 2016, who else are you going to take from us? Or whatever. And it was like a meme that was popular. And I just immediately thought to myself also, I was like, did somebody just challenge 2016? And 2016 went, all right, what's up? You want to see? What's up?
Like, I'm talking about, man, if you're a celebrity right now, I would be fucking scared shitless for the next like 4 days.
Right, exactly.
Well, remember when Jazzer earlier, he's like, what about James Earl Jones? And we're like, no, please don't fucking say that.
Don't even joke about that shit. That's fucked up. James Earl Jones, no. I refuse to accept that.
No, but like the list would go on and on. I'm such a mega fan. You know, we've had whole fucking hangouts talking about what would happen if Violent J died. I'm just saying, it would just suck majorly because there's supposedly going to be a lot more Star Wars movies and live animated whatever series on Netflix, and you know, who knows how many fucking classic characters they're going to bring back from the dead CGI style, like Grand Moff Tarkin and Carrie Fisher at 19 at the end of Rogue One. So who's to say they're not going to they're going to be like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Everybody comes back. Episode 9, Carrie Fisher's dead. Don't worry about it. We got all those kinks worked out when we did that last Hunger Games movie with fucking what's his face, the heroin overdose.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
I love him. I've just drawn a blank because I'm live on the spot, but you know what I'm talking about.
So I read an article today or earlier today also that basically said Carrie Fisher had already finished filming all her parts for episode 8.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds kind of fucked up, you know, to say so, hopefully, but, you know, it's almost not Star Wars without Carrie Fisher. Now, I could see Leia, in a sense, dying the way the story went. I mean, I don't know.
I could see them editing their footage to alter the storyline so that they could do something to put it in a different trajectory. So maybe they got to lose a scene or two, or, you know, yeah.
So I know you saw Rogue One. Did you see Rogue One, Don?
Oh, yes, and I fucking loved it.
So I just want to say right now, that Vader scene, though.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Not just the last scene, but the first time you see him in the movie, you're like, yes.
Well, the first time you see him is the shit, but I'm talking about that Vader scene, though. Son of a bitch.
Now, and I was telling TJ, this is why Kylo Ren is so obsessed with his grandfather, because his grandfather's a fucking badass.
See, no, without spoiling anything, because if you've seen the trailers, you know Vader's in the movie. So anyone who's out there who hasn't seen it, who doesn't want it spoiled, I won't spoil it for you, but I will say.
I'm pretty sure we already spoiled the shit out of it in the past half hour.
Well, I will just say this much, okay? With the Vader scene in Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6, you know, there's this obvious feeling that everybody has that they're terrified of Vader, and they never really show Vader in a light that why. Like, I understand he's the bad guy, but he doesn't seem that fucking menacing. Like, he doesn't seem that fucking dangerous in a sense. You're gonna find out why in Rogue One.
Yeah, that's a good point because, you know, there's plenty of motherfuckers in the galaxy wearing, you know, plastic onesies, you know what I mean? All those stormtroopers, everybody's got the same uniform. It's just black or white, you know?
Right.
It's true.
Well, like,
he's got the cape, though. He's got that cape, you know, and...
You might think to yourselves, like, if you're also afraid of Vader, why don't y'all roll up fucking Mob Deep and fuck his shit up? You're going to find out why that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, when you find out with the older movies, they couldn't make him that badass because of the technology at the time.
I liked that part. Well, that part I'm talking about. You ever notice like it goes quiet and you hear?
I know. I grabbed my sister's hand. I'm like, yes, and I lit up.
You can see actual like dark shadows just trailing across. Like, oh shit! Like I was sitting in the theater with my girl next to my girlfriend, and we were holding hands, and I was like slamming her hand. I was like, oh my god, oh my god.
Funny, I was doing the same thing, and my sister was just laughing. She's like, wow, you're having a little kid moment, are you? I'm like, yes.
Right.
It's funny. I also grabbed the person's hand next to me and slammed it, except I was sitting next to a stranger, so it was weird.
And he was a big guy, too. It was weird. Like.
Yeah, he didn't like that, but...
Did you at least buy him something to drink afterwards, you know?
I let him have my cup of ice. I was done with it.
Oh, well, there you go. You know, that was a nice gesture. Oh, my God.
Yep. So, no, Rogue One was fucking awesome on many levels, and it did the franchise, you know, justice. So it's just further solidifying the fact that we're going to continue to get dope Star Wars movies, and it's just full steam ahead. I don't think that any major character passing away could stop this monster. This is a snowball that is growing. You know what I mean? It's getting bigger and bigger as it rolls. And
well, the thing about okay, so like in episode 7, especially here, the thing about Han and Leia and the rest of them, you know, I mean, they were put in the movie and, you know, obviously written into the story strictly to appeal to the nostalgia factor that you're watching Star Wars. You're watching, in a sense, OG Star Wars, kind of. This is how it was supposed to be done when we continued it. But they were kind of they were put in there for that, but mainly to pass the torch to the other characters. You know what I mean? I mean, Han Solo is basically. I mean, there's different characters now who are different. You know, I mean, people say Rey is in a sense because how her and Han Solo have that dynamic with each other, and how she's just as good as a mechanic as Han Solo, and all this other stuff. But to me, it's what's his name? Poe is like the new Han Solo. And,
oh, fuck yeah.
And you'd have Finn being, I don't know who the fuck Finn would be. Rey is obviously the new Luke. And so you have, and then BB-8 is obviously the new R2-D2. So you basically had them to pass the torch.
We got a question in the chat. Did Kenny Baker get this kind of love? I can't remember. Yeah, but no, because Kenny Baker wasn't Carrie Fisher. But yeah, I mean, I follow all the Star Wars blogs and Instagram pages, and they were all over his death too. But look, like I keep saying this, man. We are such huge fans of so many talented people. They're all going to drop like flies. It's just going to be one major disappointment after another. Nobody's immortal, and especially our favorite actors, actresses, musicians, and personalities that fucked with heavy drugs and have like mental disability. You know what I mean? Like that have lived life, and their heart's just going to fucking. They can't take it.
Yeah,
it sucks. They're only 60 years old. Whatever.
Hell, I've been through. I've already had a surgery correcting shit that went wrong because of the way I lived, and I'm only in my 30s.
I know. Angelina Jolie got chopped off her tits so she wouldn't get breast cancer, didn't she?
I didn't hear about that, but if that's the case, that sucks. Especially because it's Angelina, and she has some luscious fucking tits.
Well, why is she divorcing Brad Pitt then?
I don't know.
That Ben Stiller's been battling prostate cancer for quite a while.
Oh, shit.
Ben Stiller?
Yep.
Didn't know that. I did hear that they're making Expendables 4. I actually just saw 3 for the first time a couple weeks ago. I think 2 is my favorite. But I'm down for a 4th one.
I unfortunately haven't seen any of them.
It's cool. I mean, look, I didn't really like the first one that much, and I suffered through it. And 2 I thought was much better. So 3 might have been just as good. I was kind of half paying attention, doing other stuff, and it ended up being background noise. And I looked every once in a while and was like, "Oh, cool, I know him," or "Hey, look at that guy!" Like it's just it's just one cameo appearance after another of like the golden age of action heroes.
Well, it's older and newer. Actually, it's the old ones and the new ones.
Right. But the old ones show up with like little cameo appearances, and just have like conversations or fly a helicopter, and
They were just like, "We're gonna make a movie and put every action hero ever into the fucking movie."
They're supposed to make a female version of that, but put all these action female actresses in it.
Yeah, that'll flop.
Yep.
All right, I got 2 words.
It'll be like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's right.
Ghostbuster the shit out of that franchise.
I watched the new Ghostbusters just to see what it was, and everybody who dissed it was right. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Oh my fucking God.
My parents didn't like it.
Right. Like, there's a reason that movie flopped. It was stupid. I actually didn't care. Like, when they first announced that it was going to be all women, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And because I was still going to see it. When I saw that first trailer, I was like, no.
I didn't even recognize any of the actresses in there. I'm like, who's that?
I recognize the fat chick.
In the Expendables, I think that MMA chick, Rousey or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, see, here's another thing also, and Beastmaster wouldn't know much about this, but there's a video game series I love called Kingdom Hearts. And because when Disney back acquired Star Wars, I thought to myself, is Star Wars going to be implemented in Kingdom Hearts? From what I understand, it is. So there may be a possibility there's a lightsaber keyblade and maybe a Star Wars Death Star battle in Kingdom Hearts, because there are spaceship fights in Kingdom Hearts. It's like one of the staples.
So Kingdom Hearts is everything under the umbrella of Disney, all mashed together?
Disney and Squaresoft.
Okay.
Basically, imagine like, okay, so it's basically a bunch of Final Fantasy characters are in it also, and the whole essence of the story is that there's these like all these worlds, like these different dimensions are separated, obviously, and somebody's been opening them, and people have been crossing dimensions. So that's where you have Disney worlds coming into play, and you also have Final Fantasy characters. You have Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, and you just have a bunch of different Final Fantasy characters in the fucking games. And so you have to go to these different worlds and close the fucking doors. And the only way to do that is with this weapon. It's a giant key, and it emits this light. And there's the enemies in the game. They're called Heartless, and they're basically all darkness. And so that's why you fight them with this thing called the Keyblade, is because that's how you vanquish them. And then you do the level, you beat the boss, you close the keyhole in the sky, and you lock the dimension off.
I get it. It's like you wield the big fantasy cock and you blow your load into the big badge in the sky, and
that's right.
Boom.
That's right. Bam, motherfucker. So I mean, it's a little the first game is a little campy when you start, and then it just goes fuck you. Everything's serious and dark now. It's like, oh shit.
All right. So the question is, should they make a Three Amigos 2? But with the same actors? You know, that's not going to happen, but I did enjoy Grumpy Old Men, even though I didn't know those actors when they were in their younger years, and, you know, Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. I enjoyed that movie. Then they did another one. It would be cool to see some of the young actors that I enjoyed, you know, come back and do older, you know, characters that reprise those characters. Like, for example, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. They're making a part 3, and that is going to be the shit. That's really happening. It's official.
Nice.
So, knowing our fucking shitty ass luck, 2016 will come and murk Keanu Reeves.
No. No, don't even. Don't even.
It's gonna happen one of these days. The Wraith is coming for everybody.
Stop it.
Don't talk about Neo that way.
I know, but the Wraith will just kill him, and he'll be like, "What?" You know.
Basically, Kenny, you are Keanu Reeves. Oh shit, it's Panic. No, but that order. What's up, Panic? That order you were talking about, the hatchet order.
Yeah, the machete order.
Or the machete order. My girlfriend's brother told me about that too. I plan on doing. I own all 7 movies so far, so I plan on probably trying to do that.
I actually watched episode 1 last week, and I was planning on going to 2, but now I plan on doing the machete order, and it's like I watched 1, and now I'm going to watch them all in that order. So, you know, which actually I like that. I like the idea of watching 1, because you do lose some key points, even though it's not crucial. Nothing in 1 is crucial. You can pick up everything you need to know from 2, you know, even the fact that he loves his mother and was separated from her. Like, you get that. It's
all you know is that episode 1 is you just tell, like, the younger kids, you see that guy Palpatine, pay attention to that dude.
You can
what do you learn in episode 1 that you don't hear again later? That Anakin didn't have a father? She didn't know what happened? Like, she got roofied, so she doesn't know.
You can actually watch episode 1 after you watch the others one in machete order, and you can watch episode 1 as failed as just some prequel cash grab, just to explain an origin.
Exactly.
As an origin story.
Totally.
And then a movie that also made Darth Maul look like a wimp, but in all actuality, he's a badass.
Yeah, Shanzi's asking me if I ever saw The Odd Couple. Yes, I have, because after Grumpy Old Men came out, I lived a full life where I got to watch so many more movies after that. And yes, I have gone back and watched Odd Couple and seen other stuff. But no, I didn't see The Odd Couple before Grumpy Old Men. So I didn't know who. I mean, I learned quick. It's kind of hard to not know, because when they're promoting a movie, they advertise it and they tell you who these motherfuckers are. And I'm like, who are these motherfuckers? Oh, they're reprising. They're working together again since The Odd Couple. What's The Odd Couple? It doesn't look as good as the Three Stooges, so whatever.
How come Shanzi's just chilling in the chat room like a waterhead?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because
Probably
right
because
here.
he didn't watch Star Wars. What's up, Panic?
I'm just chilling with Shanzi.
Man.
What do you got him in your closet?
Right here in the bottom.
Yep. Shanzi's head.
He just sunned you.
Nah, I don't know shit about Star Wars, but I thought I'd join anyways.
What, Panic? How come you don't know about Star Wars, Panic?
I never really watched it.
All right. Well, what about the movie Fanboys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. I think it was CPN talking about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
I know. CPN has talked about it.
Fanboys has the greatest scene with Carrie Fisher. What's Star Wars?
I like when he's like, "I love you," and she says, "I know."
Oh my god,
I see what you did there. That was great.
that's such a goddamn great movie.
It's funny because that's what Carrie Fisher would actually do when she would see fans. Like if you watch when she's doing Comic-Con stuff, they're like, "I love you," and she's like, "I know."
That's right.
I feel like she's cool, like she's down. Like she'll have a beer with me. She'll do a line of coke. She'll party,
Hell yeah. I want to do some coke with Carrie Fisher.
I already said that she was my first celebrity crush. Do I need to say more? I would love to party with Carrie Fisher. Really, since I found out she passed away, that hasn't changed.
Right.
She can still kick it.
Right. Exactly.
Wait, are you prejudiced against dead people?
That's right. That's right.
I'm not too good.
Then he'll want to party
You're
with Mark
fresher
Hamill.
than she is.
He's going to want to party with Mark Hamill, and he'll be like, "Talk like the Joker. Talk like the Joker, please."
No, I want to I understand everyone likes Mark Hamill's Joker, and I understand that, but I'm still on the Heath Ledger bandwagon, and
It's okay. So am I.
I'm gonna stay there.
I know. I was watching that a few weeks ago. I'm like, God, you look at all the other good movies that Heath Ledger's been. You're like, there's no way that's Heath Ledger, but it is. Holy shit.
Yeah, I still to this day can't believe that's Heath Ledger.
I know.
The scene where Seth Rogen is pointing to his back to the tattoo of Jar Jar, and he's like, "This character's gonna be the shit."
Yeah, that's Jar Jar. He's awesome.
Fucking awesome. I love how he plays both.
Dark side.
I like how he plays both guys. He's the Star Trek nerd and he's the Star Wars bully at the same time. He plays dual characters. That's awesome.
That's right. Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Now I know why Shanzi's not in the hangout. He just said Fanboys is decent. What is wrong? All right. You know what? You're salty. That's right.
Is it a documentary or what?
No, it's
No, it's a movie.
Oh, okay.
it's a comedy.
It's Kevin Smith who wrote that, right?
No.
No?
I
It's
don't
funny.
think so.
Because a lot of the actors that are in that movie are actually nerds themselves. It's pretty funny.
Well, a lot of the actors in that movie are part of Kevin Smith's like posse. Like,
yeah, but I've watched that shit. I don't think he had anything to do with that movie, to be honest. I think the guy who made it, it was his passion project. It wasn't Kevin Smith.
He's in it.
Yeah, but he didn't make it.
Well, then it has to be a friend or something then of Kevin Smith's, because even in like the Clerks 2, like in the trailers on the Clerks 2 movie, like there's a trailer for fanboys, like in it.
You know what? If I'm wrong, I'll eat my words. That's fine. But I just didn't think that Kevin Smith was attached. But I could be wrong.
I don't know why. Like, I mean, I don't know if he is or not, but I don't know why he wouldn't be.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I just feel like I would have remembered that. Like I would have thought about it. And I just feel like I've never thought about that, him being involved. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you remember the part he comes out in the movie, right? They come out of the bathroom stall. Like, Jay comes out, I don't want to be doing this shit anymore. And then the dude from Clerks 2 who fucked the donkey comes out. Yeah. Like, he just got a blowjob, and then Kevin Smith is right there, his pimp and shit.
I feel like he's notorious for, like, you know, making these cameo swap deals with different directors. Like, he did the same shit with Scream. We talked about this in a different angle.
Scream real quick.
He's a famous fanboy. I actually just watched, what was it called? Hoosiers? Yoga Hoosiers? You guys seen this fucking movie yet?
Don't know what that is, no.
This is Kevin Smith's new movie, and it stars his daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter. And it's got Johnny Depp in it, too. And it's the weirdest fucking movie you'll ever see. It's by far the weirdest movie. It's weirder than Tusk. But it's got a lot of the same characters and shit. I think it's like the second of a trilogy of weird Canadian, like, horror movies that he's doing. Like horror comedy. You guys haven't seen it, so this is no fun. Just do yourselves a favor, watch it, and then you may want to not thank me later. You might not like it. It's very strange. You know? I don't know if I ever want to watch Tusk again. And Yoga Hoosiers, I'll watch that again just because I can't believe what I just watched, and I probably need to check it out again. His daughter does kind of. Okay, the last one's called Moose Jaws. Yeah, I don't know what that name implies. Fuck.
Moose Jaws?
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities for that.
No, but the first one, Tusk, is exactly what you think. A fucking madman turns a dude into a fucking walrus and gives him fucking tusks.
Oh, didn't they parody that on like South Park or something?
Yeah, probably, because it's fucking bizarre. This guy wants to see William Dafoe as the Joker.
Yeah, he could work out maybe.
William Dafoe is a good actor. He plays psycho, eye bulging, crazy good. So yeah, he would do it.
I don't know why, but I always stand by this statement. I always thought Johnny Depp would do a good job playing the Riddler.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah, Johnny Depp does a good job of playing anybody who like puts on a one-piece suit and dances around and.
I think Johnny Depp just does a good job of playing anybody.
Yeah. He's a fucking chameleon.
He had a weird feeling as Willy Wonka.
That movie was just I was like, that's not Johnny Depp. But I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, his Willy Wonka was like.
This dude's
I thought it was Michael
creepy.
Jackson at first.
Yeah, I didn't like the new that Willy Wonka. Wasn't a fan. But when what's his name The old Willy Wonka.
Gene Wilder.
G. Wilder, that's right. When he passed away, one of my favorite memes was a Wonka meme, the condescending Wonka meme that was like, "Oh, you rest in peace, Gene Wilder. Name one of his movies." And I'm like, I wonder how many people don't know.
Could you imagine if Brittany Murphy played Harley Quinn? I would have lost my shit in a good way.
That'll happen, man. They're just going to digitally create her.
For Harley Quinn, I don't know who I want to play. I mean, this Harley Quinn was okay, but
she's already doing a fucking Gotham Girls movie.
Right. I just kind of wanted someone hotter.
Well, did you hear the rumor that Megan Fox may play Poison Ivy in that movie?
Yeah, I heard that rumor. That's okay. As long as she's Poison Ivy skimpy, I'm good. You know? I'm going to be like, yeah. Fuck yeah.
He'll be like, give me a kiss, poison me.
I don't know what it is, but I want to fuck a green bitch for some weird reason. Along with a blue bitch. Like what's that race in Star Wars with the two fucking things?
I don't know what the race is, but they're definitely hot. They can get
Twi'leks. They're called Twi'leks. I want to fuck a Twi'lek.
He wants to tweak while fucking a tweak.
You have no idea how bad I want to fuck a Twi'lek. It's an obsession.
And he wants it to be a Twi'lek that looks like a Sith.
No, it has to be that Twi'lek that dies in episode 3 during Order 66.
Oh, hell yes.
You remember she's walking and then they shoot her and then the camera goes back and they show him shooting her, but she's under the fucking plant, so you can't actually see the lasers hitting her?
Yeah.
You're just assuming it's gender, and like in the right lighting, it's actually Jabba the Hutt's henchman who answers the door and stands next to him. And
she had titties.
Sure.
She has titties.
What's your pronoun?
What's your pronoun? Yes, I'm sorry. I assumed it's gender.
Just go up to him and be like, "What's your pronoun?" I'm sorry, y'all don't get that.
Oh,
there's that podcast, like they make fun of people like that. I wish I knew the video. There's this nerdy kid, man, and he's all talking about all that type of shit. Like to him, he said, "You're supposed to go up to everybody." Imagine going up to somebody who knows nothing about this. What's your pronoun?
Right.
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
There's this kid at work who's a fucking know-it-all, and every time like he tries to say something that's wrong, and we try to call him out on it, he starts getting real defensive, and just for some reason I turn it into, wait. Did you just assume my gender? And he gets so fucking mad, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm now remembering the opera singer from The Fifth Element, that alien lady that actually had the fifth element like in her fucking body cavity, and she was singing all those high octaves and everything. She was kind of like a little tweaker, whatever the fuck you call it.
A Twi'lek, you son of a bitch.
The tweaker.
Have you ever watched that Star Wars parody video? It's of this like Sith Twi'lek girl like fighting Darth Maul, and she's like teasing him when she's like licking the tip of his lightsaber, and he gets all embarrassed.
Imagine if like some chick's like, oh, trying to get sexy, hit on a Jedi, tries to lick the tip of a lightsaber, cuts her fucking tongue off. Oops. She has to do the walk of shame home, fucking blood dripping from her fucking jaw.
Shame.
You ever seen Zach and Yuri make a porno?
What's that?
You ever seen Zach and Mary make a porno?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
their
yeah,
first
yeah, yeah.
attempt.
Their first attempt, and they got that fucking creature in that's supposed to be in the garbage bin as a dildo with an eye on it and shit.
That movie's pretty funny.
Dude, I fucking love that movie.
I like the little the Indian guy. The Nigga Tuesdays bit, dude, that's fucking hilarious.
Work on Black Friday? How about Movie Monday? Nigga Tuesday? Is that a new holiday?
He looks so like, I believe him.
Right?
And then
did it that guy, or was the other guy that went to prison for killing his wife?
Whoa, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, so that old Indian dude, he's in 40-Year-Old Virgin, and I want to say it was either him or the other Indian dude who went to fucking prison for murdering his wife.
Oh, damn.
It's all because he told his wife to fuck a goat.
Why you always telling me to fuck a goat, man?
God, that old guy, and it's just fucking hilarious.
Well, fuck. Oh, turban now. Do you see a fucking turban on my... Fuck you.
The other part with Gina is funny. Nobody wants your floppy titties.
Wait, that's it? Ain't you supposed to come on our titties?
Well, guys, we're coming down to the end of the hangout.
End of the hangout, man, you little bitch.
I know. I'm sorry. We only meant for this to be an hour long. I think we went twice as long.
Twice? Wow.
That's what she said.
But there's like so much Star Wars to talk about.
Well, guess what? This video is made for our channel dedicated to that. It's called Star Wars Vlogs. Everybody should go subscribe, and we will continue.
Okay.
We will continue
to Star Wars Vlogs, and they will continue.
We're going to be talking Star Wars every day, all year, forever, and always.
Okay, there you go.
Yep. Well, Chaos and I have been meaning to get back into it, and we also thought we might as well go live on Carnival Spirit so we actually have a live audience. But this video is going up on Star Wars Vlogs, and we're going to continue to do videos over there as well.
Well, since you're ending, I will say, Carrie Fisher, may the Force be with you.
Yes.
What's that famous line? Half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. Fucking beautiful girl with a fucking trucker mouth.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And those buns, man.
Did you see the controversy with Cinnabon?
The Cinnabon?
Yeah. They put out a tweet that said, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. You have the best buns in the galaxy. And it was a picture of her with a Cinnabon, like, as her bun or whatever. And apparently that was offensive and insensitive.
That's not offensive. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. But I was like, seriously? What the fuck, guys? Calm down.
Everyone's going to be irrational for at least another, well, until the end of this fucking year. Everyone's now in a fucking panic. You know, no pun intended panic. I'm just saying everyone's like.
Everybody's in panic.
George Michael, you know, fucking, I don't know, man. Like, 2016 is not done fucking bombarding us.
Right.
I want to see Fred Durst do a tribute. Piss him off again.
There you go.
Well, anyone want to, you know, guess who's going to die next before the end of the year. I mean, we might as well fucking try to call it.
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with. Let's see. No, it's gonna be someone young in a freak accident. So I'm gonna go with the guy Mario Lopez for no reason. It's gonna be Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell. He played Slater. That's right.
What do you call Preppy?
Zach Morris.
Did you see that reunion they did
On Kimmel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Without Screech.
I'm actually.
How can you have a reunion without Screech? What the fuck?
They don't get along.
I know.
But I'm actually kind of a Saved by the Bell and a Full House encyclopedia. Out of all the things that could be an encyclopedia about, you probably would have never guessed those two.
Are you up on season 2 of Fuller House?
Almost. There's a nice little, the last episode we saw, it was a Thanksgiving episode, and there's a nice little fourth wall moment. Nice. Where they're praying over Thanksgiving dinner, and DJ's like, and please bless our sister Michelle. Hopefully she could join us next year. And Jesse just turns to the camera and goes, yeah, show up. It'll be fun. Just like, oh, shit.
They did that in season 1 when they first mentioned, like, oh, where is she? Oh, running her business. And they all looked at the camera. They're like, mm-hmm. too busy to join us. Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of them acted before because she was in Weeds for a little bit.
Yeah, they act. I don't think they just don't want to reprise that role. They don't want, you know what I mean? For whatever reason,
that's the show that made them who they are.
I don't want to presume to know why, but they did that show. Yeah, you're right. It did make them, but then they kind of made themselves after that because
right.
Well, they got mad because the girl that plays DJ, she had a rough time as she got older, but then she got into drugs, but then she got older and she found God. So now Mary Kay and Ashley likes to call her like a Bible thumping hippie.
See, that explains that fourth wall moment that CPN just mentioned, because if there is strife between them and she's like publicly egging them on because they probably don't talk, so this is the only way that she can communicate to them.
Yep.
This is bullshit.
This is kind of like a YouTube
Family Matters
through Netflix, you know?
Well, see, Panic, the reason we can't do Family Matters is a bunch of that cast is dead.
Really?
Like, I think both Myra and Laura are both dead.
Whoa, that's fucking crazy.
And then I know Harriet. She played there was this show on Disney Channel with this little black girl. It was a cartoon, and she had a crazy ass grandma who called
the Proud Family.
Yeah, Harriet did Sugar Mama's voice.
That show cartoon was awesome.
I don't know what Carl's been up to. I don't know what I don't know what Jalen White and Steve Urkel's been up to. Don't know what Eddie's been up to. But most of them are like either obscured out of they're just out in obscurity at this point, and some of them are dead.
Yeah, it sucks because if you can, I would say Fresh Prince, but fucking what's his name died?
Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil died.
Yep.
First of the year last year, wasn't it? Or the year before? It might have been the year before.
Or was it the beginning of this year? I don't know.
You know, you can easily just get like somebody like Snoop Dogg to fill that role.
Yeah, have you ever seen Uncle Phil? He's a big dude.
You could get Suge Knight to fulfill.
Yeah, but I thought it would be funny if you just replace them. It doesn't matter if physicality isn't the same. Like, just put in a name, you know?
You need the actual
Suge Knight
actor.
is the actor.
I could see Suge Knight as Uncle Phil though. That'd be pretty sick.
Look, I think Uncle Phil is beloved enough to justify a CGI Grand Toff you know what I mean? Give him the Carrie Fisher treatment. Bring him back.
I don't understand. The CGI was done by a multi-billion-dollar fucking corporation. I don't think anyone who's going to put Fresh Prince together is going to sink that much money into creating Uncle Phil again.
Well, they should.
It doesn't work that way.
I mean, they took the time to make a fucking hologram of Tupac, and
I also know that Will and some of the other cast members kind of have beef with each other. I know Will and Aunt May or Aunt Viv. I know they don't get along at all, and that shit went public. Like Aunt Viv called him out.
Oh shit.
Yup.
It'd be great if like all the actors that got beef with the stars of the sitcoms they were on all got together and made a sitcom together.
Oh man.
Like playing their real characters from their respective shows, creating a joined universe of all sitcoms.
Right.
Someone in the comments said Perfect Strangers, Valky and shit. I remember that show. But no one ever remembers this show. It was a black show. No one ever fucking remembers this goddamn show. The Parenthood. Does anybody remember that?
I remember the movie Parenthood.
They had the dad would always have like, I forgot what his name is, but he would like have these daydreams about his family, and then he would snap back into reality. And then I think the cousin or some shit was Wendell. Nobody remembers.
I remember that.
Did I make up like an entire show in my head or something?
No, a dude in the chat remembers.
See, there's a show I used to watch and love that nobody really watched, or at least no one remembers for me. It's Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
I remember.
I love that fucking show.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
Hey, yo, what's up? And where's my theme music? Cooper.
Damn. That's a blast from the past.
Mm-hmm. Blasting from the past.
You motherfuckers have a great night. I'm BstMstR. Thank you, Don Chaos, CPN, and Panik17. Everybody have a happy new year, and try not to die before the ball drops. That's really all I got for you.
Have a good one. I'm back to Final Fantasy 15.
Sweet. All right. Chaos, any final words?
Nope.
Well, I do want to say, one final time, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. We love you. Can't wait to see your final performances as Princess Leia. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be watching episode 4 probably tomorrow. Yeah. Either tomorrow night or Wednesday. Wait, tomorrow is Wednesday.
It is.
Yeah. I got to get to bed. I got to work early tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a great one. Thank you for joining me. And everybody else, always remember to fuck the fuck off, motherfuckers. See ya.